Hello everyone, I'm Janelle with Tunes Unlimited, and today I'm going to show you how you can import your own G1 one angle custom character into Crazytalk Animator 2. And it's a real short, simple tutorial that will make a lot of sense and should help a lot of people out, for those individuals who just want one angle. They don't want to try to create a 10 view angle character for their needs. One or two angles, particular angles will suffice. This tutorial is for you. So what we're going to do is go to the Actors tab, and under Characters, you can actually use any of these default characters. So it's really up to you. And I would encourage you, if you know that you have a short character, grab a short pre-made character and use that as your template. It makes swapping out the characters much faster, especially if you're planning on doing that method, because there's two methods. There is the import all at once with a external application like your Flash or your Draw Plus, or any software application that can export an item in Swift format if you want a vector character, or PNG if you are you going to if you're going to use a graphic character. So height will help you out when matching up each body part if you need to do a piece by piece character rig. But if you're going to import all at once, then I would recommend that you go with whatever height fits the need for your character. So for this tutorial, I'm actually going to use, let's just use Cherry. Cherry has a fairly decent body build. Eyes and eyebrows are all present. All the features that the average person would want to use, they're all there. So for this tutorial, let's try the back angle. The easiest way to get started, we're going to go into the character composer mode, hide the bones real quick because we don't need to see that. And whatever rig I'm going to do for whatever angle, I need to turn my character to that angle. So in this case, let's go ahead and rotate Cherry to the back view angle. From here, what you want to do is go to Modify and say turn to a multi-angle character. Now, Cherry is a 10 view angle character, but once we perform this action, she will become now a one view angle character. What they basically did was duplicate every single part to this same angle. So when I rotate her now, she stays facing the back angle. But her other body parts moves, like her arms and legs, as if she was rotating. What this allows you to do now that she is a one angle character, when we go back to the stage, she will now perform all the animation of a G1 character. So when I go to G1 motions, anything that's really in the 0 degree angle, or they actually do have just a small portion of back view angles, she should be able to perform them with no problem. So let's go ahead and have her do the go-go dance, and we're going to say 0 degree, and she would do it. And if you really wanted her arms and stuff to behave correctly, you would just tell her arms both sets of arms to be in front of the upper torso. So if I went back, and let me drop my layer editors on the screen so you can see it, I can highlight all of these body parts and I can say, you know, put it, I'm sorry, not in front, but send it to the back of the upper torso. And you should be able to then play it, and now everything's in front of her face. So this is how you would create your own G1 character into Crazytalk Animator. So now, come on. Oh, let me stop this. Okay. So now, when I go back into character composer mode, I can begin swapping out all my body parts until I have my own character rigged in this application. So the good thing about this is, as you can see from this screen, all of the other angles are a copy of the angle that you picked when you said, I want you to turn it into a multi-angle character. So in a nutshell, what you can easily do is, for example, you wanted to, when you're ready to swap out your characters, make sure you go back to the angle that reflects the view you want to change. In this case, that's our 180-degree angle. And when you go into it and you go to replace that file, we'll just grab this angle of that's back here. And this is just an example. I'm going to blow him up a little bit so that you can see it good. Now when I go back to see all of my views for this particular sprite, they're all changed to that. So you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I've put my characters in, but now the old version of Cherry is going to show up in the other angles. It won't. Not if you go back to your original angle, in this case, the 180 angle that you wanted to use. Now, if for any reason you make that mistake, you can still go back to the button and say, turn this into a multi-view angle character. But I strongly suggest you go back to the angle you're going to use. And that way, when you import them in, they all import in all the angles at the same time. So this is how you would do a character part swap out. Now, for those of you who are like, okay, I don't want to do that method. I want to rig everything up in Flash or Draw Plus or whatever application I'm using and just import it in all at once. Here's how you do that. I'm going to undo this real quick and get Cherry back to her original space. And I am going to open up Adobe Animate. Here we go. And I'm going to grab one of my characters that I already have rigged up. You can use the dummy for an example, but I'm going to grab one of my old characters that I've already created. In this case, it's going to be Little J. So as you can see, Little J is already rigged. I'm going to grab his 180 angle, and I'm just going to dump it into a new page on Flash. And since he's already rigged up, I can go ahead and export him and just say Little J 180. Now let's hop back over to Crazytalk Animator. We're going to go into load the character. I find Little J, the 180 angle. And I'm going to go ahead and upload it. Now when you're doing this, Little J, because we're uploading a new character, all of the other angles have been wiped out. So they're not there. Only this angle is here. So the first thing you will want to do is use your we call it a magic wand most of the time in other tutorials. People refer to it as the magic wand, but it is the confirm multi-angle setting. And basically what it does is it looks at your layering that you had when you first imported the character, and it tries to match those layers in that correct order. So if you have your back hair sitting at the front or at the top layer, when you import it in and you use the magic wand, it will try to match up your layering system that you already set up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that, and I'm going to tell it to hide the bones. Now, at this point in time, you can go ahead and do all your joint mask and everything, since your character, for the most part, will be completely imported in. You would notice with my character, he has no hands, and that's because I already created his hands with a previous version, and I have them saved in the application. So I would just pop in my G2 hands, but in this case, for this tutorial, I'm going to leave them as is. So I'm not going to do joint masking because that would take up too much time, and it's not necessary to explain this tutorial. All I'm going to do right now is simply turn him back into a multi-angle character. And let's just hide the bones. So now, once again, he's ready to go, and he is made for just the back angle, or the 180-degree angle. And now, performing the same dance, he can do the exact same dance that Cherry was just doing. So it's really simple. This is how you can continue to make your own single view G1 characters into Crazytalk Animator 2. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will try to create more and more tutorials on how to use different components of Crazytalk Animator 2, as well as how to develop characters into Crazytalk Animator 2 G2 style 10 view angles. And the goal will be to try to create a new tutorial at least once every week or every other week, depending on how popular it becomes. So this concludes this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you later. Take care.